unmuted.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining today's webinar. I'm Raja, your presenter and head mobile marketing for .com Info. So I'm here to shed some lights on how to create a perfect launch plan for mobile apps based on the hands-on experience we personally had on launching a lot of mobile applications and games. So I have been quite delighted with a large group of attendees who have already joined us, and let me give you a brief introduction about .com Info before we have a lot more attendees coming on board. And so here is a bit about .com Info. So .com Info is a leading provider of offshore IT outsourcing solutions to businesses across the globe. An ISO 9001-2000 certified multidiscipline professional IT service company, DCI provides enterprise solutions that include software solutions, web solutions, mobile app solutions, mobile marketing and internet marketing, and a whole range of IT solutions and products to our clients. So mobile app marketing is our forte. We have worked with a lot of clients with a proven app marketing strategies to design and execute a perfect launch for apps of all kinds. It can be Apple app, it can be an Google app. So we work with all kinds of applications. Our understanding of every other App Store environment and ranking algorithm helps us provide mobile app developers with the best tailor-made solutions to make their apps stand out from the other mobile apps in the market. With our experience in launching a lot of applications and expertise and customize the mobile app marketing solutions, we have achieved millions of downloads for our client apps. And even we had a lot of applications making it to the top charts in the app stores. So here is our agenda for today. I'm going to talking to you entirely about launching the mobile application and the pre-launch, launch and post-launch marketing strategies. ASO are called as App Store Optimization, PR activities, channels for user acquisition, and the best practices for mobile app marketing. So on your screen you see the instructions. Please do follow that, and please keep yourself on mute so that we will be able to provide a lot of insights for you without any interruptions. And following the session we will be having a Q&A session, and you are welcome to start submitting your questions right from now in the beginning. And if you'd like to ask any question, just use the GoToMeeting console. Just enter your question and I'll queue it up for discussion. And judging by the attendance now, I can see a lot of you are quite eager to learn about creating the perfect launch plan for mobile apps. So without any further delay, let's get started with our webinar. And this slide has a brief introduction about me, my profile, and this slide is available for you after viewing. So let's get started with the webinar and the subject in hand: how to create a killer launch plan for your mobile application. So this is a very key problem which is facing a lot of mobile app developers in the market. When you are getting your app ready for launch, no matter how great it is, how feature rich your application is, in today's competitive app stores, it probably won't speak for itself. The success of an app, while often depending on the approach towards the marketing. Unfortunately, the large majority of the app developers have little or no experience on marketing or managing a marketing budget. So this is a key challenge which we have before us. So this webinar is entirely designed in such a way that to provide you with a lot of information and insights to solve this problem. So how to market your mobile app and how to create a killer launch plan for your application. So as you see in this slide provides you with some interesting stats. The statistics shows that there were 1.6 million apps available in the Google Play Store and 1.5 million in the Apple App Store. The stats is 1 year old, and you can see that the growth among these top 2 app stores actually. So this provides you an information that there have been a lot of competition in these app store, and you can see that there are hundreds of applications launched in the app store in a regular daily basis. So that also forms a key competition for your application when you go ahead and launch it in the app stores. So moving on to the next slide, these are some numbers you need to be so sure about. So here you go. This is a source of awareness of the smartphone apps. 52% of the users find out the apps through their friends and family and colleagues. 40% find out the apps while they are browsing through App Store, and 27% in search engines. So 24% through company website. If you're wondering what it is about, if you are a magazine company and you have your website and your users find your app through your website when they visit to your website, you are an e-commerce company, you have your app and people find out about your application from the link you have from your website. And 22% of the users find out the app through television. So these are some interesting numbers, and here you go with the stats in the right top. So the information here is provided as based on what influences the user to download the application, particular application in their device. So 82% responded that the price has more constraint, and which is followed by description, which is available in the App Store, reviews and ratings by the users in the App Store, and an app which is providing the free trial plan for a limited period. So these are the key factors which determine the app being downloaded in the App Store. So now moving on to these stats which are available in the bottom part of the screen. On an average, every single user has 36 apps installed in their smartphone, and only 26% of those apps are used in a daily basis. So gaming, social are the categories which fall into daily used applications. So 33% of them are media and communication. 75% of the users expect your app to be free. So these are some key facts, and you need to understand how the user gets to know about application and download it in their device. So these are some more interesting numbers. These number games can help you understand better how the market situation is currently. And TechCrunch stats shows you a really sad story here. 21% of the apps in iOS are already dead and no one is downloading them already. So Moss research suggests that out of 100 downloads, only 4 users stick around for a while. So that roughly translates to 4% of the users who are coming back to your application in a daily basis. And according to 2013 BBC report, 60% of the apps which are available in the App Store are never been downloaded even once. Those are big numbers, 60% of the apps. And according to Fixu, the average cost per app installed is 1.28, and average cost for user retention is $1.78. And the other interesting stats, if you can see in the bottom screen, ladies and gentlemen, according to GigaOM, top 1.6% of the developers make $500,000 every month. On the other hand, 35% of the iOS developers and 49% of the Android developers make less than $100 per month. Why do they make less? Because they are not able to reach their target audience, which means they haven't marketed their mobile applications properly. So from these stats, these numbers, you understand the seriousness of the problem which we have in our hand, and we need to understand why it's so important to plan for launching your mobile application. So here is a map of app business. Each and every app businesses revolve around this map. So the installs into the monthly retention percentage gives you the monthly active users, and the monthly active users into monthly average revenue per user gives you the overall revenue. So the more number of users stick to your app for a long time gives you more revenues. It's as simple as it. So you need to ensure that you build a great app, you make the users to find your app and make them stick around for your app for a while. So guys who have joined the webinar, and I would request you to type in your questions in the webinar console so that we will be able to queue it up for the discussion in the Q&A session. So moving on to the next slide, here we go. The app launch marketing plan. Here is a question before everyone. When should you get started with the marketing? So this is the key question. Some may say, okay, I have the app live in the App Store now. Now I should start the marketing. Some people say, okay, I'll launch the app first and I see how it is received in the app stores, and then I start marketing my app. So that's not the case. You need to start your marketing right before the app is launched. That means when you conceive an idea of developing a mobile application, that is the point where you should start your marketing activities. So here you could see in this slide, bottom part of the slide, we actually divide the marketing tactics into 3 different parts, the 3-phased approach. So first phase is called early launch tactics. Typically this starts when you start thinking about an app idea, thinking about how you are going to develop an application. So this is called early launch tactics. This typically starts 6 months before the app is going to be on the App Store. So the pre-launch tactics, this typically starts 2 to 3 weeks before the app is going to go live. And the post-launch tactics start from day 0 where the app is launched in the App Store. So these are the 3 phases, and where we will be able to divide and work on the launch plan. So then we go with the pre-launch app marketing. So this is where you start thinking about your application. You should evaluate the app concept itself. So the app concept is quite important. As we talk in the marketing mix, 4 P's of marketing. It's all about product, price, place, and promotion. So let's start with product. Product is the most important thing. You need to focus on your product. What app you are going to develop. Evaluating the app concept itself is more important. And then evaluating the market. What is the market condition? Whether there is a need for such application. Doing your market research and finding out whether the users are in need of such application. And then researching the competition. Competitive analysis is more important. You need to analyze your competitors to find out their weaknesses and make them as your strength. So in typical marketing terms, what do you call it as? You call it as creating an app with a lot of point of differences. You may have a lot of parity with your competitors, but you should have a point of difference so that it could be competitive in the market. And by creating your points of parity, that is your unique selling proposition, the unique differentiators of your app from the competitors, and then you need to document it and create a marketing message based on it. And then goes identifying the target audience. Who are your target audience? Creating a user personas. So that is more important than anything. So identify them, find out their psychographic, find out their demographic things, and find out their behavioral attributes, and by then you are grouping your target group. And the focus of entire reach should be considered. So you may develop an app which is being used only for being of use only for a certain people, and you need to identify whether selling the app to certain target group will be able to make you monetize that particular application. So you need to be very clear about identifying the target market and how your application is going to solve their problem. And then the final part of it is creating a crystal clear user journey. User onboarding process is the key. Without user onboarding process, we will not be able to, without user onboarding process, you will not be able to proceed further, because the user has to understand your application and find out where and what they have to be able to do it. And moving on to the next slide, you have the early launch marketing. This is typically a 2-week period before the app goes live. And that's where we mean start promoting early. So the ASO starts here. ASO is typically App Store optimization, and we need to go ahead and optimize your app for the App Store. Here you have to optimize your app name, keywords, app icon, description, and screenshots, and preview video which you are going to submit in your App Store. So we'll be having a separate slide for discussion for ASO, and we'll deal it when we come to this slide. And moving on to the next point, it's about creating teasers and pre-launch trials. So this is about creating eagerness in the minds of your target group, creating a microsite, putting on your teaser, asking interested users to sign up for to know about the launch date, collecting email IDs. These are things which you could do even before the app is going live. And providing pre-launch trials to certain users can also help to an extent. Beta testing and expert reviews are even more important. Beta testing, if you are able to create a beta user group, that's really great. If you can't, you can go ahead and have your friends and family as your beta testers. They can test the app for you, and they can provide the feedback to you, which you can improvise, and send it back for development and send it to the App Store. Expert reviews are quite important. Experts can be your fellow developers, fellow marketers who help you, and there are a lot of marketing companies, agencies who could provide you with information on benchmarks of the application, and based on which we will be able to figure out where the app is lagging and how we can make it more competitive. And then comes the analytics setup. Analytics setup, you need to measure all the information which you want to. Measuring too much of information can also lead to can also provide you with no data to track actually. There are a lot of analytic tools available. Google Analytics is a free tool. You can go ahead with Apps Flyer is there, and you can have a lot more analytic tools such as mobile app tracking, and you can have adjust. So these are the tools which you could do for setting up analytics. Flurry is one more popular analytics tool. And the KPI tracking has to be done. KPIs are the points where you want to track when your app is being used by the users. For example, registration is one of the events which you need to track. Sign-ups, completing a level, or completing an in-app purchase. These are the things which should be tracked during the overall app user journey. And getting your press and media kit ready should be done along once you complete the analytics and KPI tracking setup, so that this press and media kit can be distributed through the to the journalists and ask them to review the application. So social media and other account setup has to be done. You need to claim your brand in the social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and all those popular social media. So these accounts has to be set up right before the app is being available, and claiming your brand is more important. And building the media list should start, and you need to start creating a list of influencers and journalists whom you are going to send the information about your application, and start building a relationship with those influencers and media people right before you go live with the app. And then comes the post-launch marketing. This marketing activities are carried on once you have your app live in the App Store. So the PR activities and the blogger outreach forms an important portion of this. User acquisition campaigns, social media promotions, viral marketing, remarketing, user engagement and customer support, contests and giveaways. So these are the primary activities you will be carrying on during the post-launch when the app is being live, that is day one. These are the activities which I will be explaining you in the coming slides. So the PR activities, here you go. The unique app positioning should be there. The app should be positioned. The app message should be communicated to the users. And we need to go with the pre-launch app build for the press. And as mentioned in the previous slide, you should be able to identify the key journalists and send out the information to the press. And then distributing the press releases through a lot of media wires. For example, you take prnewswire.com, prweb.com, prmag.com is there, businesswire is there. So we can distribute these press releases to the user, to the journalists. And contacting niche bloggers is one more idea. If you are making an app for kids, you could reach out to the mom bloggers. If you are making a lifestyle app, you can reach out to the lifestyle bloggers. Forum marketing is one more important. There are forums like iPhone Dev SDK and a lot more forums where you will be able to promote your application, interact with the fellow developers, and also you need to find out the niche forums where the users are discussing about the application. And you don't need to be so promotional, but you need to create an content in a way that people are consuming it and coming back and downloading your application. Setting up interviews with the leading media houses can always help. You need to create a story. Journalists always like stories rather than sending out press releases to them. Creating a story, what kind of problem your app is solving, and what kind of issues you are addressing, and what kind of audience you are focusing on, can really help in creating and setting up an interviews. YouTube video reviews are important. There are a lot of technological YouTube video blogs who actually review mobile applications, and there are also the channels who are dedicated to reviewing mobile application. The key indicators are the number of subscribers, the number of average video views for your application, and the number of interactions which are going on with the application. So these are the best practices for organic app optimization and experimentation. ASO, PR activities, social media promotions constitutes the most important part of the organic app marketing. So you need to measure and attribute all the app installs and identify the campaigns and the channels with having highest growth potential to acquire quality users. So we need to also do SMS, email campaigns, social media campaigns, and optimize the experiments and focus on the aspect of user life cycle at the time, such as user activation, retention, conversion. So from these campaigns, you will be able to learn a lot of lessons, and you need to find out which channel performs well and focus your time and effort and budget on that particular channel. So you need to understand which channel performs best for you and which channel doesn't, and you need to optimize the channel accordingly and put your budgets there. So the ASO is one more key thing which you need to have in your mind. So the App Store optimization is the best bet to gain a lot of low cost app exposure and getting a lot of downloads for almost zero cost. So with 1.5 million apps in each app store competing against your app. You need to find a way to get the app discovered by the users. So as you see in your screen, there are a lot of ASO tools available in the market. It can be Searchman, Search Sensor Tower, App Annie, Mobile Dev HQ. So all these tools help you guys in finding out the best keywords which are available in the App Store, and what you have to optimize for, and what is the current competition, and how you will be able to reaching those positions. And then you need to ensure that your keywords are available in the title, the most important keywords, because Google Play Store you will be able to only submit 32 characters as a title. So you need to ensure that you have all the keywords in the title, important keywords, and moreover you need to figure out the important keywords and put it in the Apple App Store, as you have 100 characters restriction in the Apple App Store. So an appealing preview video and screenshots are also the key. Better icon design to improve the click-through rate is quite important. So you need to seek to get reviews naturally. Ask your users to rate and review the app in the App Store, and seek to get people sharing and linking your App Store listing as well. So the user acquisition is getting really hard nowadays, and you are facing a lot of user acquisition challenges which you will be facing in a regular basis. So this is a typical user acquisition funnel which you could see in your screen. I guess there is a bit of delay in the screens being seen by you guys. So let me wait for you guys to see the screen. In the meanwhile, I'll give a brief on that user acquisition funnel. So the user acquisition funnel is about, to start with, it's the user finding out that your app exists. Then they visit your App Store page. Then they decide to download and open the app for the first time and keep using the app on a regular basis. So this funnel has a lot of leakages in between. So you need to find out where and when to trigger a particular event and provide the user with the required information so that they download the app and they keep the app in their device. And then comes the user acquisition channels. So what are the user acquisition channels which are used by a lot of top app marketing companies and the top app developers? So the first and foremost thing is that the incentivized CPI. So incentivizing users to download your application, the incentive can be in the form of coins, monetary benefits. They can be in-app purchases. They'll be able to provide going to the next level, unlocking the other levels. So there are a lot of incentives which are provided to the users for downloading the other applications. So we need to be sure that these incentivizers, the installs, provide you with the best possible users. The first foremost problem in incentivized installs is that you may not be able to getting loyal users. The advantages here are you will be able to getting mass number of downloads and at a lesser cost, comparatively lesser cost than other channels. So in non-incentivized channels, comparatively the cost per install goes up, and you may not be able to get mass number of installs during the campaign. And mobile app walls are more important. So in mobile app walls, people find out about other applications which are displayed in the offer wall. So this has more conversion ratio and typically higher loyal users comparing to the incentivized apps. And there are a lot of app companies who provide app of the day promotions where they display your app as app of the day and feature it to their users who are predetermined. And then go with the social media advertisement, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, where they have advanced targeting options, and people used to target the right audience in these channels. And then search marketing is there, and search marketing people use Google AdWords to display the ads among the search results. And television advertising and celebrity endorsements are also there, and where television advertising comes in when you have huge marketing budget, and celebrity features and endorsements are meant for your application when you have good budget to go with and promoting for your application. And then goes the viral marketing. And viral marketing is where you will be able to create a viral loop and creating valuable content which the users can share, and they should feel the content is worth sharing. And that thereby users will be rewarded when they share, and why the user want to share. You need to keep users motivating to keep sharing the content to the other users. So the typical flow is that someone opens your app, logs in, then that person creates something within your app and shares that share their creation in social media. Their friends view it, click on the link to the app store, and the friend downloads their app, and this loop keeps going on and on. So the other form of this is called the remarketing. Is there remarketing activities are quite important. Now you have started with the user acquisition, you have enough users for your application, you have got a lot of downloads, and then no one is coming back to your application, and people are not buying something, people are not going playing your game, people are not engaging with your application, people are not transacting within your application. So here the remarketing activities has to start. Remarketing is helpful in driving more conversions from the existing users, leveraging your power users for upsells, and re-engaging with the lapsed users. So these makes remarketing an important part to as one of your app marketing mix, and that is really important to ensure that your users are being engaged with your application. And social media, as everyone knows, social media is more important for user acquisition, and social media is the modern word of mouth marketing. So you need to create targeted and shareable content, and using social media to create fan base and brand advocates. You can reward users for connecting with your products and encourage user generated content, which is quite crucial in the modern days to keep your users engaged with your application. And then comes the best practices for user acquisition, best practices for user engagement, and best practices to get your outcomes, desired outcomes for your campaigns. So in user acquisition, downloads, new users, and active users are what you acquire. You need to identify the key channels and identify the key metrics and acquire new users. And in the engagement part, these are the things which you have to measure: retention, drop-off ratios in each and every part of your application, and the session length of each and every sessions. And the outcomes: in-app purchases, app purchases, gold conversions, it can be signups, viewing a certain screen, unlocking a level, completing a level, or it can be making an in-app purchase. So app monetization can be through purchases, or it can be through subscriptions, or it can be through your ads which you placed in your mobile application. Then comes the determination of lifetime value of a user. This has to be the key indicator for your application. So these are certain areas where you should have been focusing on during the app launch. So marketing before the release starts with the viral marketing, reviews by influential bloggers, high profile media coverage, and then your app starts moving in the charts and gets more number of downloads. And then during the launch, day 0, day 1, day 2, day 3, just focus on a lot of mobile advertising, Facebook ad campaigns, CPC campaigns, CPI campaigns, getting a lot of reviews, getting media talking about your application, and then comes reaching the top charts in the App Store. So this helps you in reaching the top of the app stores and getting a lot of exposure. Here starts your organic growth, and then you need to keep engaging with your users. You need to work with better CPI, CPC networks, the campaigns which performed for you, doing PR campaigns, talking about the success of the app, and then getting partnerships for your application, spreading out news about the application in the media, engaging with your users through push notifications, contests, in-app messaging, then doing a lot of offline advertisement. So these are the key which you have to follow during your app launch. And the key takeaways from this webinar, here are a summary of what we have discussed so far in this session. Building the right app and building it in the right way. So that's key. No one expects you to be successful when you have a product which is not working as it's been advertised. And then optimizing your App Store page and embracing ASO is quite crucial. Choosing the right promo campaigns, the promo campaigns which delivers what your campaign objectives are. And then building an online presence is more important. Finding out what makes users come back to the app is more important. Then comes the brand building around your application. Then increasing the app visibility and downloads using different channels is more important here. The final point is that engaging with the people, do remarketing, do send in-app messages, create interest, make them do actionable things in your application, and then at last modifying your app users into loyal brand advocates. So that's it from me, that's it from the webinar, and as you know, we are ready to take some questions. Let's see what are the questions which are available in the chat box right now at the moment. Mr. Alan has asked that if we'll be able to share the presentation and the video copy. Yes, we'll be uploading the webinar video in our YouTube channel, and also we will be sharing the presentation in SlideShare, and we will be sending the links to all the participants. So that will be sent in the coming week, and keep engaged with us. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, and then you will be also receiving an email when the videos and presentations are uploaded. And then there is another question which I have in the screen, can we do A/B testing on ASO? Yes, we can certainly do that. In Google Play Store, you have an option to select different icons, and you'll be able to do A/B testing on ASO. Or you can do it manually when you have the app icons ready. You can test it 2 different versions for a limited period of time. So that option is also available. So I'll be able to share a lot of insights on the A/B testing for ASO, which will be available to you guys in the email. We'll be posting a blog post on this topic. This is quite an interesting topic, and this constitutes one of our topics for our blog post in the coming month, and which will be shared again with you guys in the email. And Mr. Sudhagar has asked that do you have any statistics on the freeware apps versus premium applications and paid apps? Yes, we do have some market intelligence data on the number of premium apps that have been downloaded and paid apps which are downloaded. You could watch spaces on the websites like appannie.com, who releases regular updates on the market intelligence reports, and Priori Data is one of them. And we could also share some reports and links to those websites in the upcoming series of our webinars and emails. And Mr. Ashwin has asked to share the webinar presentation to his Gmail. Yes, we will be doing sharing. And to everyone, please feel free to drop us an email. You can drop me an email at raja@dca.in, to Mr. Karthikeyan in his email ID, or you could drop us a message in our Facebook page, or you could just mention us in Twitter. We are happy to answer all your questions, and do keep in touch. This is one of this series which we have planned to begin with, and stay connected, and there will be a lot more series of this app educative series on marketing coming up. Stay connected with us. Thanks a lot. Bye bye. Have a great day, guys.